I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Announcements.
Buenas noches. Si alguna persona necesita traducción en español, que por favor vayan a ver a la señora Martínez para que le den un audífono. Muchas gracias por estar aquí.
Adoption of the regular agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt the regular agenda?
So moved.
A second. Motion by Dr. Ruiz, second by Bruno. Are there any comments or discussion from the board? Okay, roll call. Bruno? Aye. Constanza?
Aye.
Gomez? Absent. Dr. Ruiz?
Aye.
And myself? Aye, 4-1. 4-0. Okay, so motion passes 4-0. Presentation. Item 4.1, Hollywood Beach School, Mrs. Schallenberg.
All right, good evening. I would like to start by thanking school board members, executive cabinet, colleagues, and members of the community for allowing me to highlight Hollywood Beach Elementary School tonight. My name is Monica Schallenberger, and I am the proud principal, year number 2 of Hollywood Beach Elementary School. Our Hollywood Beach community has added a new transitional kindergarten class this year, giving us 2 little groups of kiddos running around our campus. It has been a new and exciting change from the 24-25 school year, and our 6th grade class has really stepped up to help our littlest pelicans learn about life on campus. We have approximately 38 dedicated staff members on site, and we feel so fortunate to have the Shine and Catalyst program after school. Our Beach PTA is active with fundraising and supporting staff and students. 3 new events that I wanted to highlight for this year are following our Neon Night and Movie Nights. Our student council is also active in helping across the campus with work under the guidance of Mrs. Hickson, our school counselor, and Mrs. Kahani, our librarian, office clerk, and cashier. This year, they introduced the Pelican Crew, and this group of 6th graders help out our TK students during the lunch recess. In addition, the students help organize Spirit Week, and this year's community project was a food drive to support our campus and the Blackstock Cares Winter Community Closet. The pictures that you see, the 2 in the center, are from our very first movie night, which we just held on Friday, February 27th. As I said, it was our first PTA-sponsored movie night, and it was highly successful. The featured movie was Zootopia 2, and our families received free popcorn, a soft drink, and candy. It was so popular that we hope to have one more before the end of this school year. The 2 pictures on the left and the right are from our following festival that we had in October. And the PTA changed up this event from last year by offering a host of new activities. Each class came together to create a trunk or treat for all the families to enjoy. And in addition to that, we had many local businesses, a local band, come and support the event by showcasing their work in the community. Fun was had by all. And I just want to give a shout out to the ROTC at Wainini High, who has helped us with some of our PTA events this year. Here's a couple of photos from our student council events that we've had so far. Our student council shook up our Kindness Spirit Week this year. Here are two photos from two of the dress-up days that we had, in addition to our regular pajama day and career day. On the left, we have two students who brought anything but a backpack to make people smile. And it was really funny. We have an occupational therapist on our campus on Wednesdays, and as she was walking on, she was wondering what was everybody doing. Nobody had a backpack, but we had buckets and instrument cases and little push carts, so luggage, lots of things. So everybody was smiling. And the picture on the right captures a million ways to be kind, with both staff and students enjoying the day dressed up as minions running around the campus. I'm happy to share our data from the Spring Panorama Social Emotional Survey. Our 3rd through 5th grade students have the greatest increase in the area of perseverance and teacher-student relationships. This year, after studying the fall data, our MTSS leadership team decided to target 2 different areas, sense of belonging and school climate, by bringing our entire campus together to participate in school-wide group events. So we gather our kiddos, we break them into teams from TK all the way to 6th grade, and we do different activities. In past years, we waited until the end of the year to do this with culminating activities. But so far this year, we've been able to have some different groups at different times of the year. The first one we did was get to know your group. We did books at the beach, a kindness chain activity, and our upcoming one will be in April when we celebrate Earth Day. And although we didn't make the gains in the areas that we had targeted, we were very happy that we were able to get our students all together to build that sense of belonging and to try to bring the school climate closer together by all of us being together at all grade levels. Our school counselor continues to make strides with all of our Pelicans. Thus far, Ms. Hickson has completed 91 classroom lessons from kindergarten through 6th grade. In addition, Ms. Hickson has been working tirelessly with our 3rd grade students on self-management, as you can see on the right. This was an area where we did see an increase of 6 points from our fall to spring survey. And then she has all of the activities that she participates in, student meetings, check-in, check-out, and referrals. Our next slides are all about our math data and English language arts data. And so our first one shows the Ames Web Plus winter data composite for math, kindergarten through 2nd grade. The total composite bar score shows the percentages of students in each risk category, low, moderate, and high, based on reading and/or math. The risk categories describe the likelihood that students will not meet end-of-year performance targets based on their current scores. Our MTS leadership team uses this data, as well as other indicators, to help our campus create SMART goals in both reading and math. Our teachers use this data to help guide instruction, reteach when needed, and work in small groups to differentiate instruction. So you can see here's our kinder 1st and 2nd. And then here are our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students in the area of math. If I keep going, our Ames Web Plus winter composite for English language arts, and you can see those numbers again with the low, moderate, and high risk. And then our 6th grade data. On the left, our English language arts, and on the right is their math scores. This slide shows our M-Class data, our newest screening tool for grades kinder through second. This screener provides teachers with a wealth of data about their students in the area of reading. This slide shows a comparison of our students from the beginning of the year scores to middle of year scores in kinder, first, and second grade. In addition, we're able to compare our students' scores to students on a national level, district level, and their individual growth in each of the areas. This data helps us to create small group interventions in the classroom. Additionally, our MTS leadership team analyzes the data to help us create our school-wide goals.
That's a question.
Sure.
So tell me what the colors mean. What's the blue, what's the green, what's the yellow, what's the red?
Blue would be beyond grade level. Green at grade level, making progress toward grade level yellow, and below grade level in red.
Thank you.
Yes. This slide captures a very small piece of all the wonderful programs that are happening on our campus. Just today, I was in a kindergarten and second grade classroom where I snapped pictures of 2 SEAL strategies, the draw and label in kindergarten, as well as a chant about habitats in second grade. Sorry, those didn't make it up there. The images here show a first grade class on the left working in a small group on reading passages, while all the rest of the students that you can't see are all working independently. The center picture shows a second grade class working as a group to solve a math problem, a CGI strategy that our teachers have been trained on throughout this school year. And finally, the next set of pictures show a first grade classroom working with a basket of tools. The teacher put the basket on the table, gave them a math problem, and then asked them to solve it in the best way that they knew how. And so the picture shows one student working with linker cubes while others used base 10 blocks. Some drew a picture. There were lots of different ways to solve the math problem. So. And finally, a few pictures from our annual Veterans Day school-wide event. Last year, it was with a heavy heart that we had to cancel our event due to fires in the area. This year, it was a wonderful event honoring our veterans and community. As always, we invite our school board and district officials to join any and all events when your schedule permits. Thank you again, and are there any questions? I do have a little PTA swag for you. So our PTA has some wonderful Hollywood Beach keychains for everybody tonight. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, communications. Item 5.1, oral communications. Please note that per our current board bylaw 9323, speaking time is limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and we cannot comment on any items not on the agenda. Do we have any general speakers? Okay, first one, Stacy Thomas Lopez.
Hello. Good evening, members of the board. My name is Stacy Thomas Lopez, and I teach language arts at EO Green. And I recognize that you voted about the teachers last month, but I thought that it was important that I give you a little bit of perspective about what we see at EO Green. Okay? I'm here to urge you to explore alternative methods for budget solvency rather than reducing 4 teacher positions on our site. While our district faces fiscal challenges, reducing staff at this juncture directly contradicts our commitment to student achievement. Specifically, these cuts create 2 significant risks. First, we jeopardize academic momentum. This past year, for instance, the EO Green ELA department achieved significant hard-earned gains in proficiency. However, this progress is fragile. We cannot build on these successes by increasing student-to-teacher ratios for our most vulnerable learners. Second, we compromise our learning environment. It is nearly impossible to provide mandated accommodations for students with high needs in overcrowded classrooms. Furthermore, increased class sizes historically correlate with the rise in behavioral challenges in the middle school. Managing behavioral challenges often leads to less time spent teaching. When staff is spread too thin, we lose the safe, structured environment required for these and all students to function. Our Panorama and AIMSWeb data reveal an unprecedented density of need in our current 6th and 7th grade students. Between these 2 cohorts, just 6th and 7th grade, we have approximately 115 students who are supported by IEPs or 504s in just those 2 grades. We also have a group of nearly 100 additional students who are English language learners in the bridging, emerging, and expanding language categories. So those are the weakest learners that we've got in our language acquisition. Currently, these data sources also identify about 76% of our 6th graders and 49% of our 7th graders as critical or at risk. I want us to all remember that these are our homegrown students, children who have been with us since kindergarten, and middle school is our final opportunity to maximize their learning before they leave us to go to high school. Please prioritize the safety and academic growth of these students by restoring all 4 vital positions that you voted to eliminate. Thank you.
Next, Atticus Reyes.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent Dr. Walker, staff, teachers, everyone in the room who helps make the magic work at Hueneme Elementary School District. We're here to talk a little bit about our upcoming bike rodeo and resource fair. Yes, I was here last year, as you all might remember. It was the very first time we did it, and we're doing it again, 2nd year in a row. I want to really thank Dr. Walker. I sent an email to all of you this morning, and Dr. Walker immediately said, yep, we will help push this out through our channels to all families and in the school district. So I just want to come by, drop off some flyers, some mailers that I'm sure many people in the neighborhood got in their mailboxes this last weekend. But just also talk a little about what the event is. Probably the most important thing is it's free and family friendly. I like to say that as many times as I can. It's free and family friendly. It'll be on Saturday, April 11th at Oxnard College in a big parking lot in the front from 10 to 1 p.m. So that's Saturday, April 11th, Oxnard College, parking lot H, 10 to 1, completely free, family friendly. We have some really great activities for folks to learn bicycling, cycling infrastructure, safety. You can bring your bike, and a really cool part about this event, since we partner with Bike Ventura, you do not have to bring a bike. They will have bikes there for folks who maybe don't own a bike, but want to learn everything that everyone would want to learn who has a bike. So, before I forget, just want to read quickly from the flyer so folks know what they can expect. We will have helmet fittings and bike inspections, so that way we can test your bike, make sure everything's working how it should. Safety courses and a skills competition. A lot of the youth last year said it would be a lot cooler if we had a skills competition to show everyone how good we are on bikes. So we added that component. There will be bike mechanics and a wrench it event where you kind of learn about how a bike works, maybe you can do some small repairs yourself. And then, of course, we'll have informational booths from a bunch of community organizations who talk about how they serve the community. And then there's going to be a food distribution, because this is in partnership with the Port of Hueneme. So it's the Assembly Member's Office, the Port of Hueneme, in partnership with Bike Ventura, Gold Coast Transit District, Oxnard PD, and I hope hopefully I don't miss anyone else. No, that's it. And so you can also learn how to load your bike onto a public bus. That's why Gold Coast Transfishers out there. So that's really cool. I didn't know how to do that last year until I went to the event. And so the port will be doing a food distribution as well. Like I said, that's really important for families. It's all on this flyer, and just would like to thank you all for all the work you all do. The Sound member was a public school teacher for 20 years before running for office, so he knows firsthand the challenges that school districts have to do. I also, in my own time, serve on the school board and as a trustee myself, so I know firsthand some of the decisions you all have to entertain and make, especially during this time of the year due to budget. So thank you all for giving me the time. Bike Rodeo Resource Fair, Saturday, April 11th, 10 to 1 p.m. at Oxnard College. It's free. Family friendly. I'll leave these flyers for everyone. Thank you so much.
Next speaker, Erica Hutter.
Board members. Hello, my name is Erica Hutter. I'm a full-time English teacher at EO Green. Last month, the board voted to cut my position along with 5 other full-time employees, and the result in shuffling of teachers will leave EO Green without 4 teachers next year, 1 in nearly every department. Eliminating these positions across our district will severely impact kids and their learning. Classes will be fuller, teachers will have less capacity to provide enrichment, elective classes, intervention during class time, differentiation during in-class lessons, and students overall will be receiving less resources and services. We all have the same goal, to support our students and their families. How can we do that when cuts are being made at the classroom level? Despite low enrollment and projections that show it is continuing the upcoming years, what are the actions and steps the district is taking to sustain our schools? What is being done to address chronic absenteeism? What is being done to address the deficit budget beyond staff layoffs? I believe having reliable teachers and staff who have solid relationships with students is critical to supporting the students and families who we are currently serving. Thank you.
Karen Arthur.
Good evening, board and everyone. My name is Karen Arthur. I've been a teacher for 30 years. I'm in my 11th year at Huanini Elementary School District. Prior to working at Huanini Elementary School District, I worked for the Oxnard Adult School for 12 years. So I know the community well. Oftentimes students, parents, and grandparents are former students. And I'm here also to talk about the layoffs. Layoffs mean larger class sizes. And if a class size increase, if our class size is especially in language arts, because honestly, many students are several grade levels, they're reading several grade levels below. So we are tasked sometimes with 6 years of literacy gains in 3 years. And it's a mission we take very seriously because these students are at a crossroads. They are getting ready for high school. So it is of the utmost importance. And if class sizes increase, the gains that we've made in the language arts competency, we are not ATSI on the dashboard currently, but taking the long view and realizing what it could mean is I think something to really consider, honestly. And so our mission is to facilitate rapid, massive gains in literacy to prepare students for high school. And for the students that have competencies far below grade level, it does take the ability for one-on-one instruction during class time. It's beyond differentiation. It's really reading everything that students are writing, not relying on AI, because you get to know your students by reading what they're writing and really sitting down with them and working with them. So I urge you, I'm here tonight to request that non-instructional cuts be made in terms of budget cutback, the cutbacks needed on the budget rather than a reduction in teachers at the middle school level. Because Stacy Thomas Lopez, who spoke earlier, did a great job with the statistics, and those are real. We've made the gains, and I think that I know other districts are laying teachers off, but we're not other districts. And our situation is unique to us in our community and the families that we serve. And we have a profound impact. Thank you.
CSEA, Mr. Ayala.
Hello, everyone. Here to report, still in our successful negotiations, we did come to an agreement on reclassification for our TK paras and also a new job position for classified as SLIPA position, which we're waiting for our association to 610. And when they take it back, I'll bring it for ratification for our membership. Also, membership involvement's been improving in our chapter, which I'm happy to report. Thank you.
HEA, Mr. Gomez.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank Mrs. Lopez and Ms. Hunter and Ms. Arthur for coming, because they're the ones that are on the front lines like the rest of us. You know, we're in the classroom. We know it's a difficult decision. We know it's something we don't all take lightly, but it does impact and it does affect. I was talking to some of the teachers at Green. I was over there earlier this afternoon. And remember when they came and presented those scores that they showed, those improvements that they were talking about that they made, you know, you just think about the impact that might have on their language arts department, you know, just keep that in mind. But, you know, I thank them for coming and showing support. We are also in the middle of our ratification voting with the district. So we're ratifying the vote that we had, came to an agreement. We have open houses still continuing throughout this week and next week. We are in the middle of our spring Ames Web screeners for testing, and our in-house rounds in this week with round 1 starting next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5.2, written communications. Oh, yes.
We did not applaud our first speaker. I think we should back up and applaud our first speaker.
Yes, written communications.
That threw me off, Ms. Thomas. We just have one item for written communication that you'll actually see later in Ms. Marshall's item. It's the disclosure of the collective bargaining agreement with HEA that is required to receive from the County Office of Education. So she will be presenting this more later in her report, but that's the only piece of written communication.
Okay. Approval of board minutes. Item 6.1, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of February 23, 2026. Do we have a motion to approve? Second. Motion by Gomez, second by Constanza. Are there any comments or discussion from the board? No? Roll call. Bruno?
Aye.
Constanza?
Aye.
Gomez?
Aye.
Dr. Weiss? Myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item 6.2, approval of the minutes of the special meeting of March 2nd, 2026. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Okay, motion by Bruno, second by Dr. Weiss. Are there any comments or discussion from the board? None? Roll call vote. Bruno?
Aye.
Constanza?
Aye.
Gomez?
Aye.
Dr. Weiss?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Adoption of the consent agenda. Are there any requests from the board, staff, or audience to remove an item or transfer it from the consent agenda to the action agenda? No? Do we have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I'll move that we adopt. I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Bruno, second by Gomez. Roll call. Bruno?
Aye.
Constanza?
Aye.
Gomez?
Aye.
Dr. Weiss? Myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Business services. Item 8.1, disclosure of proposed collective bargaining agreement with HEA. Ms. Marshall.
Good
evening, governing board members. This item is for information only. Wainini Elementary School District and Wainini Education Association have reached a tentative agreement for a 1.5% increase on the salary schedule retroactive to July 1st, 2025. The state has accountability legislation under AB 1200 that requires a school district that negotiates an agreement with their bargaining units to not only disclose that information to the public, but prepare a financial impact statement of that agreement and forward it to the County Office of Education for review. For your information, I have included the financial impact statement and the county's letter of review in the board packet. Thank you.
Item 8.2, recommendation to award installation of kitchen hood at Larson to Monet Construction. Mr. Ragsdale.
Good evening. This item is a recommendation to award a contract for essential facility upgrades at Ansgar Larson Elementary School. On January 26, 2026, the board approved the bid process to replace the existing kitchen hood at the school. Following a formal bidding process, the district received 3 competitive bids. Monet Construction has been identified as the lowest responsible bidder. If approved tonight, staff will be enabled to finalize the agreement and commence construction. To ensure there is no disruption to the school nutrition program, the installation is scheduled to take place during the summer break.
Do we have a motion to award? Motion by Gomez, second by Dr. Weiss. Are there any comments or discussion from the board? No? Roll call. Bruno?
Aye.
Constanza? Aye. Gomez? Aye. Dr. Weiss? Myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Human Resources, item 9.1, proposed approval of tentative agreements between the district and HEA. Mr. Castellano.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to, very proud to share with you that we had a very effective negotiation cycle with our partners, the Wainini Education Association, and we've come to some tentative agreements and some memorandum of understanding. So what I bring before you tonight, pending ratification by the unit members of HEA, it's recommended that the governing board approve these tentative agreements that we've been able to reach.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, motion by Dr. Weiss, second by Constanza. Are there any comments or discussion from the board? No? Roll call. Bruno?
Aye.
Thank you. Constanza? Aye. Gomez? Aye. Dr. Weiss? And myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item 9.2, approve salary adjustment for administrative and confidential employees. Mr. Castellano.
As it's been our practice here in our district to maintain established practice of parity for the non-represented staff, it's recommended that the governing board approve the salary adjustment for the administrative and confidential employees.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move that we approve.
Motion by Bruno. Second? Do we have a second? Dr. Weiss. Are there any comments or discussion from the board? None? Roll call. Bruno?
Aye.
Constanza? Aye. Gomez?
Aye.
Dr. Weiss? Myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Educational Services. Item 10.1. M-Class with Dibbles and M-Class Lectura at risk of reading difficulty screener update. Dr. Molina.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the board. This is an update on our most recent screener, M-Class with Dibbles, which is in English, and M-Class Lectura for our Spanish learners. Just some key dates about how this screener came to be. July of 2023, Governor Newsom signed SB 114 mandating that all public schools screen students in K through second grade for reading difficulty risk. In December of 2024, the State Board of Education panel finalized approved screening instruments, so we had a list of several that we could choose from. June 30th was the deadline in 2025 for every school district to adopt and approve a screening tool at the public board meeting, which was done last year here at Wainini. And this was our first year that it was a mandatory annual screening of all students in K through second grade to begin the screening process. In preparation for this new assessment in September, teachers and principals received training in administering the assessment. September 16th through October 3rd, there was a beginning of year pilot round assessment in grades K through second grade. So not all students took the assessment at that time, but those who did, they received a score, and then we were able to compare it to our middle of year. December 10th, we notified families of the middle of year is the official reading difficulties risk screener. January 20th through February 4th, we administered the middle of year assessment. February 12th, teachers sent home the Home Connect letters with students, along with the parent square message talking about how they would receive the notification and what the results meant. And then in February, administrators, support staff, and teachers received training in analyzing data, creating student groups, and progress monitoring. Another point here as well is that every student who enrolls during the year within 45 days if it's outside of our testing window would need to receive this full assessment if they haven't already in their prior district. We would need to administer it here within the first 45 days. So this assessment gives us results around the key literacy indicators, phonemic awareness, so identifying and manipulating sounds, phonics and alphabetic principle, connecting sounds to letters, accuracy and fluency, are students able to read with ease, and then finally comprehension, are they understanding what they're reading? The approximate time for administration is 5 to 10 minutes. Actual time, and just talking to teachers, it took more like 15 minutes, since this was really, for many of them, our first time administering it. And then if they needed to complete the RAN, it was 1 additional minute to determine the risk screener. Results are shared in a composite score, so their reading proficiency compared to their grade level goals or expectations. And then we also get a color-coded risk level score, which Principal Schallenberger shared. You'll see the different tiers color-coded with the risk level. So the element that I shared at the beginning that's really part of the law is looking at the at-risk of reading difficulty screener, which is in this diagnostic. So students who are scoring well below on M-Class are given the rapid automatized naming measure, which is the RAN. And that indicates how quickly students can name a variety of stimuli, could be colors, objects, and numbers. The RAN responses can be in English or Spanish, and students who score well below benchmark in both of those assessments, the RAN and their diagnostic, would be flagged for reading difficulty risk. And then those students who are flagged, they'll get a little exclamation mark next to their name. Teachers would know that those students who are flagged for reading difficulties should receive an intervention plan and provide implementation in supporting those students in those specific skill areas. The M-Class Lectura, students who took M-Class Lectura in Spanish, all students in their Spanish assessment have elements of the RAN built into different tasks. So with just taking the M-Class Lectura, we would know exactly who are students who are at risk of reading difficulties without needing to take that additional assessment. So after administering the assessment, we see that with M-Class DIBEL, so in English, 764 students scored well below. Those students were then administered the RAN. 79% of those students are considered low risk, and 21% are considered at risk. In kindergarten, 247 students took the RAN, 89% were considered low risk, and 11% were considered at risk. 264 total students in grade 1, 83% low risk and 17% at risk. and then 271 students in grade 2, 65% low risk, and 35% at risk. In M-Class Lectura, we had 494 students. So again, that's all students who took that assessment. 73% of those students who took the M-Class Lectura were considered low risk. So in this case, that includes students who are at grade level and above, because it was everyone. And then 27% would be considered at risk. In grades K, 167 students took the assessment, 77% scored low risk, and 23% at risk. Grade 1, 163 students, 80% low risk and 20% at risk. And grade 2, 164 students, 63% low risk and 37% at risk. We received the results in various ways, so individual student reports provided in both English and Spanish, a Home Connect parent letter to share with parents on how to read the assessment results and how to support at home, and then also classroom reports that show student levels, and then also the specific skill areas where students would need support and the number of students in each of those areas. And it even breaks it down into small groups for students based on those specific skill areas. So like I mentioned, those students who are considered at risk should be in receiving small group instruction, targeting those skills that are considered areas of need based on the assessment results. M-Class creates student groups automatically, and there are lesson options linked for each group. And these lessons are focused on the skill areas that students need support in. And progress monitoring assessments are built into M-Class to be able to monitor the growth of those students in those small groups. The different lessons are available for all tiers of supports. And again, they focus on those key literacy skills. Any questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Come on, work. There. Okay, so were those the beginning of term or midterm?
Middle of year.
Middle of year, okay. And how did they compare to the beginning of the year?
I have the comparison, but because we don't have all students who took the beginning of year, it's a little bit skewed.
And then you said all the assessments can be done in both languages. And you said that there are lesson recommendations that come along with them. Is that right? So there's not just grouping them, but there's actually
lessons that support each of those skill areas for the different groups of students.
And then they're grouped by a broad area, but not by every skill area, right?
They are also by skill area. So you'll have, let's say these 5 students need support with phonemic awareness, and then you could support that small group.
Okay. And that's, every teacher gets that in K1 and 2.
In K through 2, they have access to it's the amplified platform.
Right. All right. And you used the word diagnostic once, but only once. Which do you consider the diagnostic assessment?
It's really the whole assessment, and then when you get into specifically looking at the risk of reading difficulties is when you're administering that second assessment of the RAM, which is an extra minute.
So that's the one that's missing. Okay, thank you. And this is brand new this year?
Yes.
Okay.
You also mentioned that you also send that home, the results, and also give tools to the parents of how to support the student at home. The school got any feedback from the parents? Do you know if they were able to practice the tools, or did they have any questions about it? Did you get any feedback from them?
So we did talk a little bit about that at one of our principals meetings, and some of the principals who shared didn't receive that much feedback or questions. Normally they do when they send something home, they'll get questions. It was sent home right before, I think it was President's Day weekend, and then we had a follow, I guess we came back on Tuesday, I think. So not too many questions about the assessment results or what it meant or how it.
Are we going to follow up or making sure that we can ask the parents though, even though you say that it was last Tuesday when we sent them out?
Yes, I know we'll continue conversations at parent conferences, at the various nights that school sites have on their campuses. So because it's brand new to us and really just looking at the assessment results and everything that we get with it, I know it'll be part of our literacy plan going forward, how we connect with families.
And could you give me an example? What was something that they recommend for the parents to do?
Something very simple like reading with students on a daily basis, practicing letter sounds with fluency. So even though students may know their sounds, or even letter identification, practicing it maybe in a shorter amount of time, trying to use a timer while you're going through the cards.
Thank you. Any other questions? No? Thank you. Okay, policies. Item 11.1, second reading and approval of proposed policy revisions. Dr. Walker.
Yeah, so tonight we have the policies before you for a second reading. We do not have any changes to the policies. I just wanted to point out two of them. The first one is on the mobile communication device. So this is our new cell phone policy, and that encompasses all mobile devices. So earbuds, watches, all of the many tools that are out now for communication. So most of our schools are already operating within the policy, so I don't think there will be a lot of change. It will go into effect once the board publishes, but we'll do most of our education about it in anticipation of the new school year. So, like I said, because most of our schools are already operating that way. And then the second one, a question had come up about superintendent recruitment and selection. I guess I should be worried about this, but one of the questions had to do with the policy specifically states that the board would look for a superintendent that has a administrative and teacher credential. And the question was, well, would we not have somebody because they had a PPS credential instead of a teacher credential? And it's actually the Ed Code does specifically say teacher credential. So that doesn't preclude the board from hiring somebody that doesn't have a teaching credential, but the board would have to do a waiver. So even if that wasn't in our policy, the board would still have to do that. So that's just how the Ed Code is listed, and it is specific to a teaching credential plus an administrative credential.
Yes, go ahead.
So the administrative credential, you can only get that if you have a librarian, nursing, psychology, counselor credential, or teaching credential. But actually districts can waive any credential requirement for superintendents, is that right?
Yes.
So not even an administrative credential.
Correct.
So, and even if we have this policy, we still withhold that authority.
Yes. Yeah, and in the policy actually talks about the ability to waive the credential requirements. So other than that, I'm recommending that the board go ahead and approve and adopt these policies and authorize them for dissemination and implementation.
So moved.
Okay, so motion by Dr. Ruiz, second by Gomez, and we'll do roll call. Bruno? Aye. Constanza? Aye. Gomez? Aye. Dr. Ruiz? Aye. And myself? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Other board business. Item 12.1, adoption of resolution B252608 to recognize and celebrate district teachers and classified employees. Dr. Walker.
Yes, so tonight we have before you the resolution to
to celebrate both our teachers and our classified employees. This is a resolution that we do every year. And we do have some classified and teachers in the audience, and I want to thank you all for being here tonight. And I know listening to the Green teachers, it is very, very tough. I know I talked to a few of you recently, and it's the work that all of our staff do is very, very valuable. So please know that these decisions are not taken lightly. And this resolution is such a small token of the work that our staff does. So, but we do want to take the time and celebrate. And so tonight we're asking the board to go ahead and adopt this resolution, and then we will celebrate during the month of May.
Do we have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Dr. Ruiz, second by Gomez. Any comments or discussion? Okay, roll call. Bruno?
Aye.
Constanza?
Aye.
Gomez?
Aye.
Dr. Ruiz? Myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item 12.2, adoption of resolution B 252609 of the district ordering a regular governing board member election, ordering consolidation with other elections and constituting specification of the election order to be held on November 3, 2026. Dr. Walker.
Yes, so tonight we're asking you to adopt this resolution, and this basically allows our school board elections to be consolidated with the other elections in the county on November 3rd.
Do we have a motion to adopt?
Motion. I'll move that we adopt.
Okay, motion by Bruno, second. Second by Constanza. Comments or discussions? Okay. Roll call. Bruno?
Aye.
Constanza?
Aye.
Gomez?
Aye.
Dr. Ruiz? And myself, aye. Motion passes 5-0. Monthly reports and advanced planning. So, the trustee reports, Ms. Bruno?
I don't have too much to say. I've heard on the radio, since I'm new to listening to the radio, that Channel Islands University has an autism run. So there's like a 1K, a 2K, a 10K. And I'm hoping that our school district can promote it. If we can find out more about it and promote it. I think it's in the middle of April. And the thing I liked about it the most was the money all stays in Ventura County and 100% goes to autism. So we're not paying somebody to do this. One other thing, I've been asked to read at Williams at the end of the month. I think that's really great that we're continuing this, so we don't just do it on Dr. Seuss Day. Thank you, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Constanza?
Last week, I attended the ELAC meeting at Haycock School, elementary school. It was well attended, and besides that, the mariachis performed at the school. And one of the things that Dr. Pacheco and Susan Maris did was explaining the LCAP and how the survey of the family survey works. And it was great to just see them how they were explaining very simple for them to understand and comprehend that it's important for them to use their voices. And when they use their voices and they participate, they can get what they need for their children's education. And today, I was lucky enough to be one of the judges for the Bard Elementary Science Fair. It was incredible. The whole cafeteria, 4th and 5th grade, participate on the science fair. One of the great things about it was that it was also in Spanish and English. They give them a choice. And besides that, one of the students who is English speaking, but they are in the Duolingo classes, they decided that she wants to do it in Spanish for us. So they were thrilled, they participate, they involved their parents. It was like a scientific method using the hypothesis, the conclusion, and the observations. And it was a great day for us to be there. That was my first time, and I hope I can go back next year. So thank you for doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Ms. Gomez?
Thank you. This month I participated in a special meeting with you all. I went to the Scholastic Book Fair at PCOS, which was a really great event, and I hope that we can get them to help us as much as we can. It was with Smart and Final. We also, the science fair today, yes, and it was great. My favorite part was the special day class boards. So inclusion everywhere in our district, it was really special for me. I really appreciated that. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Weiss?
I didn't have anything new to report until this morning. This morning I met with the Wainimi High School principal, and she told me that a graduate of Wainimi High School, who is now a student at UCLA, has developed a piece of software that enables the school district to turn off phones until we turn them back on. And so I don't know if that would be any use to us. I may be a graduate of our district, I don't know. But if you're interested in finding out about it, I can get you more information. Or you can call Brenda, Brenda Brock, call her and find out who he is. But I just thought it was kind of interesting that she mentioned that this morning, what a great success he's being, and he's trying to find places to pilot it. So, well, I don't know if that's been used to our new policy, but and she's currently using it at her school. It doesn't cost her anything, so I thought that would be the same for us. So I'll pass it on to you to see if you want to hear about it.
Thank you. For myself, I just attended the special meeting and the agenda review with Dr. Walker this month. So superintendent's report.
Yes, so open houses are continuing. So we have them on Tuesday and Thursday this week and Tuesday and Thursday next week. So if you have any availability on any of those nights, there's a place for you to go. Our LCAP survey is currently out for our students, our staff, and our families. So that'll be open through mid-April. So we're hoping everyone will take the opportunity to take that. We've got a lot of school activities going on at Green this week. They have their ASB carnival, their student recognition rally. At Bar, they have their science fair. We have math Olympiads happening this week. This week at Wainimi, in partnership with Food Share and SEAG, we have a produce pop-up going on. So every family gets one box of produce. So there's lots of things going on. So be sure to check the calendar that Cynthia sends out to you. And then lastly, at the end of the 2 weeks, we'll be going on the 2-week spring break. So with that, that's all I have to report for tonight.
Thank you. Suggested future agenda items. Nothing. Okay. So we will now go into closed session at 6:57 to discuss labor negotiations and existing litigation. Thank you.